Okay, grade 9. So we're going to have a look of what happens when we pay our creditors. Remember, creditors are the businesses or the persons we as a business buy from on account. So let's see. First entry, they give us information. They tell you that M&M is a furniture store. We buy trading inventory and other goods cash and on credit. We only have to record the transactions in the cash payments journal. They give you a list of balances. Why do we need the list of balances? That's what we're going to use when we do the posting. And then the transactions for March. On the 19th, they tell us we received the account from B suppliers and paper check. If we receive an account, it means that we bought on the account. And remember, you cannot just buy, you will have to pay the account as well. So we are paying, they tell us we pay per check. So in your CPJ, the document number is check number 16. It's on the 19th. B suppliers is getting the money. And the amount we are paying in the bank column is 9540. The new column in your CPJ is the column called Creditors Control. You only write in this column when we pay our creditors. So they tell us we are paying the creditor. So in Creditors Control, the 9540. Then on the 26th, issue the check as part payment on the account at Walton's. Again, we are paying the account. So check number next was check number 17. How do I know it's check number 17? Because it follows number 16. Who's getting the check? They tell us Walton's is getting the check. So we have in details Walton's. How much money is Walton's getting? 3650. We are paying the account. We are paying our account, which means we are paying our creditor. And in Creditors Control 3650. So when we pay the creditor, we write in the CPJ, the new column in the CPJ is Creditors Control. You use that column only when we pay our account. Then you know that at the end of the month, all journals must be totaled. This journal was straightforward. There was only a Creditors Control column, so the total of the Creditors Control column must obviously be posted. Remember, we post column totals. Where to are we going to post this? They tell us right at the heading, this is Creditors Control, so obviously this must be posted to the Creditors Control account. There's the Creditors Control account. What do we know about creditors? Creditors Control is first of all a liability. You know that already. I'm just going to write liability with my mouse. It's going to take me a while because it's not so easy to write with the mouse. I'm a bit slow. What do we know about liabilities? It increases on the credit side, decreases on the debit side. Part of the information was there was no credit purchases, so I actually wrote in credit sundry purchases here just to remind you that if we did buy on credit, this would be written as sundry purchases. It comes from the CJ, but in this case there was nothing, so that's not. We are paying our creditors. When we pay, we will obviously owe less money. Creditors being a liability decreases on the debit side. So on the debit side, last day of the month, because that is when we post, the money came from the bank. We saw this in CPJ, and in total we paid 13,190 Rand. End of the month, the account must be balanced. You must know how to balance an account by now. I've showed the balance. So now we've posted to the general ledger. We also need to post to the creditors ledger because we already know that each creditor will have his own account. So here is my creditors ledger, B suppliers. They gave you the balances at the start. That was the account rendered. B suppliers paid on the 19th, according check number 16. 16, there's check number 16, so my document will be check number 16. We saw this in CPJ1, so in my folio, CPJ1. Now, when we pay B suppliers, we will owe B suppliers less. Remember, creditor is a liability, the credit column is the plus, the debit column is the minus. So I will write that in the minus column, and my new balance will obviously be my old balance minus the amount that I've paid. The same applies to the account of Waltons. That's the balance at the start. We paid with check number 17. What we pay, we will subtract, and then you have the new balance. So now you've posted to the creditors ledger. Next step is we now have to prepare a creditors list. Here is the creditors control account. That is the balance. You've done that 2 slides ago. What is a creditors list? You know already it's a list of the creditors, each one and how much each of them individually owes you. We saw that B suppliers, we owe B suppliers this amount, Waltons owes us this amount. If we add the list, 22,460 must be the same as the balance in the control account. As soon as you see the balance in the control equals the total of the list, you know your work is 100% right. Last thing that you have to learn today is the effect of payments to creditors on the accounting equation. If we pay per check, we are spending money. Spending money comes from the bank. Bank is an asset, so under assets, minus, and my reason will be cash decrease. Why is your second question? Why are we spending? We are paying the creditor. A creditor is a liability, remember? And if you pay the creditor, will be a minus, and your reason will be either creditors decrease or you owe creditors less. So this is the explanation of payments to creditors. I'm going to post this video, the link, and I will post the link to the PowerPoint explaining this, and then I will tell you exactly which exercise in your textbook and what page in your workbook you should do the exercise. You stay safe, be good. It's only 2 more weeks, then you're back at school.